Hello everyone, good evening. I welcome you all in our today's webinar on the topic that is most overrated but quite crucial. It's how to fix that labor and overhead costs in our Odoo manufacturing. Okay, just let me introduce first that I'm Pinky Shah, working as a functional consultant at Techvaria. Along with that, I'm YouTuber also. But let me introduce my company also, that we are Odoo partner and we having the global presence at Dubai, Bangalore and Ahmedabad also. So without wasting the time, just let's jump to our topic and introduce those features. Okay, let's be honest that if we are implementing the manufacturing, then our main concentration is to find the real costing of our finished product. Okay, so our main concentration will be on the bill of materials, that along with that raw material costing also. Okay, I'm agree, that's perfectly fine. But what's about if multiple operations are going on, people they are working on it, the machines they are running non-stop, those rent, those electricity charges, those my maintenance costs, again going to eat our profit margin. No, these hidden costs are not hidden, they are real, they are impact, they are going to impact in our balance sheet and profit and loss. So in this sessions, first step, we are trying to configure those steps that give us the calculation to find our labor cost and overhead cost. But along with that, how we have that confusion that if we are going to add our labor cost by those manufacturing finished product, that electricity and rent cost by that work center cost, then again we are paying the salaries to our workers, and along with that we are paying the bills for rent and electricity. So does it the double accounting entries? This is the confusion, and this session is for that also. Okay, so grab your notepad, open our Odoo environment, just roll up our sleeves, and let's enter into our engine of Odoo manufacturing. Okay, so let me share my screen and let me start it the first operations. Okay, so just I'm going to share my screen first. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so now this is blank database, no any entries, nothing. So if the database will be blank, then you can find those impact very carefully. Okay, those all pre-configuration I have set up. This I have set for United States. This is automated valuations. Everything is set. Now here we are going to see the examples with my bicycle. Okay, so I'm just going to enter my products. So I'm just entering. My product is bicycle that I'm going to manufacture. Okay, so this bicycle is there, and this all are my components. Okay, this handlebar, this chain, frame, seat, wheels. I have considered just simple scratch examples. So that will be work for your complex example also. So now, first thing I'm going to create the bill of material. So let me go to the bill of material first. This bicycle is there. Components, frame we require in 1 unit. Wheels, pair we require in 1 unit. Seat, chain, handlebar. This all units we require in 1 unit. This is my components, and exactly that is the fine. So when the manufacturing finished products will be there, Odoo will calculate the cost of those consumed products. This is the simple that we know. Okay. Now we have also aware about the operations. Now we have mentioned that we have 2 operations. Okay. So that's operations are, let's consider my frame assembly. Okay. And that will be with my bicycle. With my work center is my welding station. Okay. This is the first operation. Along with that, my another is wheel mounting. My bill of material is there. My work center is again assembly line. Okay. Now this 2 operation will be on my bill of material. This is my bicycle. So let me open the bicycle. Okay. This all components operations are. So this 2 operation is going to perform to manufacture my bicycle. But what is important thing? Important thing is my work center. Okay. As I have mentioned, and if we are going to manufacture any finished product, 3 types of costs are involved. First one is the direct material cost. That is the easy, the raw materials that are going to consume. Second is my labor cost, means the people who directly work on manufacture that product, and along with that, that overhead cost, means that rent, that electricity, that maintenance, that cost. Okay, so using this example, we will set all this cost. Now here we have that one work center, which is the welding station. Here we have the concept of cost per hour. This is very important parameter. We can't put any random number over here. When we are putting those costs per hour, at the same time, we have that analysis that which parameter we want to add over here. We want to add our rent, we want to add our electricity, we want to add our maintenance charges. Based on that, those all calculation will be worked. So this is very important parameter, that which number you are putting on this bill. Okay, so for welding station, this is my cost per hour is 40. Another one is my assembly line. Again, this is my 35 per work centers. So this is the 2 work center cost, and on this work center, particular operation will be going ahead. Okay, now this is regarding with my overhead. Now third thing is regarding with labor. Odoo is already giving the settings that how you can configure those labor costs. Okay, so now we have one employee. Just I am the employee who has finished this product. So employee is that. In the employee itself, we have settings. In settings, we have hourly cost. That is the 50 I have set. So all configuration set, row component sets, operations, that work centers, and third one, my labor cost is also. Now let's manufacture that product. But before that, let's purchase all those raw materials. So next step, I'm going to purchase. I'm going to create the purchase order. My vendor is, let's consider anyone. Okay, my products are frame. My another one is my chain. Next one is my seat. Okay, next is of course my wheel span. And along with that, one more is missing, which is my handlebar. And let's purchase in bulk. Okay, 100. This is automated with the average costing. Okay, now this we have purchased. Just remove the taxes for more simplifications as of now. I'm just confirming this order. Receipt is created, and just I'm going to validate this. Now products are available. Now our second operation, which is the manufacturing. So just let me manufacture. What I'm going to do, manufacturing. I'm just going to start the manufacturing order for my bicycle. This is my bicycle. I'm going to manufacture those quantity. Let's start with that one. Okay. So just let me confirm it. So here you can see that all products are available. So in these sections, we can see that we have options for assign. So what we can do, just we can assign these operations to your employees. Here I'm considering one employee. So here I'm assigning with one employee. This is me. Okay. So now I've assigned it. Now I'm just manufactured one. We are just going to plan it. What happens? Those software will be there, that operation will be there, but I'm just not going to open the software and just click on the produce all. Okay, so now produce all is there. Now product is manufactured. Now let's look into the overview. If I will click on the overview, here you can see that this all are my raw components that are consumed in the quantity of one. So based on that, my cost is counted by considering the raw cost. Okay. Along with that, here you can see that we have 2 operations. One is my frame assembly. Second is my wheel mounting. Okay. So based on that, here, based on my work center cost and based on those real durations that we have performed to perform that operation, it will be multiplied and we can find that the real cost is there. But along with that, here we can see that. So this is my direct material cost. This is my overhead cost we can consider. And here you can see that this worker, this employee is performing this task. So here we have mentioned that hourly cost is 50. So you can find that the 50 is there. So here you can see that my total cost of component is 135, but along with that, that total cost of operation is 175. 175 is not the operation cost, not the labor cost, but it's the summation, accumulation of operation cost as well as my labor cost. That's fine. But if we want to find that what will be the cost of labor, what will be the cost of my overhead, that is also possible, that we will cover later. Okay, this all things are done. Now let's check the manufacturing accounting entries. Okay, but along with that, this important thing that is missed is my work center. Here we have to, just let me go to, here we have to add that expense account. That is very important. So just let me import it now. And let me do those operations again, because this is very important thing that we have to configure that expense account in the work center. So let me just configure first, and let's do the manufacturing order again. This is my work center. This is one kind of my expense account. Now all set. Now let's manufacture first again. I'm going to manufacturing again. Let me do quickly manufacturing order. Again, my bicycle. All thing is there. I'm here. Let me just confirm. Just we are going to assign with this particular. Okay, this all done, and just we are going to produce all. Okay, so let's check the overview. Here you can see that our 135 and 175 is there. Now let's check the accounting entries. This is very important. If I will go to the accounting, and in accounting, if we will check my journal entries, and along with that, I will check the general ledger. Here you can see that my works, let me just make it bigger. This my work center cost, that is my expense kind of account, is credited with 175. Means this account summarize what costs link with my labor and which cost link with my overhead. This is the 175. Okay. Now, if we want to differentiate, we can do those differentiation easily. Okay. So let me just duplicate this. Let me go to the manufacturing. And just like, let me just go to the manufacturing. My cost is the 175. And report and production analysis. In the production analysis, let me go to the pivot view. In the pivot view, here you can see that measures. In the measures, just we want to measure my total employee cost, total operation cost. Okay, so here you can see that. But let me just add one more parameter over here. That is my manufacturing, because currently you can see that the total employee cost and total operation cost belongs to two manufacturing order. I just want to do with one manufacturing order, because just we have added those work center cost expense kind of account on our work centers. So what we can do, this is my view. Now, if we want to do for my manufacturing order, okay, so we can do that. Okay, manufacturing order. So here you can see that now our manufacturing order was number 2. Here we have mentioned that total cost was 175. So those work center expense account is credited with 175. Now here you can see that my total employee cost is 100 and my total operation cost is 75. That's all. So using this production analysis report, we can also find that what will be my employee cost for manufacturing order and what will my operation cost for manufacturing. Now that's fine. So here you can find that how can we can configure those work centers, those operations, how we can add those hourly costs in employee, and how we can find the real cost of my finished product. Now, after that, we having one confusion, okay, that if we are already paying salary to my employees, and along with that, if we are already pay to our bills of rent and bills of electricity and bills of maintenance, so does it the double accounting entry? So if the confusion is that, then it is a valid confusion. Here we are providing, here we are suggesting you some workarounds, okay, that which kind of workaround you can use to balance those entries. Okay, because for us, for Techvaria, our main concentration is to implement with Odoo standard. Here, as implementing with Odoo standard, we are just providing the workaround. And this workaround, our major projects are successful. They use this workaround and there is no need to do the development. So let's work on those workaround. But before that, just let me add some more manufacturing order so we can find particular expense account entry. And this adjustment will be at the end of the month. It is not like that we have just do the 1 or 2 manufacturing order and we have to do those adjustment entry. It's not like that. This adjustment entry will be at the end of the month. Let's consider we are at the June month. So after at the end of June month, we will do those all entries as we are receiving our rental bill at the for month, electricity bill for the month also. So those month entry we will consider and we will balance out. Okay. So now let's do some more of manufacturing order. So now this all done. Now let's do those balance entry. Now what happens at the end of month? First thing, we are paying to our employees. So for that, we are passing one entry for the payroll. I'm not just going to the payroll and doing those employee contracts and payslip. I'm just passing one entry. So what happens? I'm going to the accounting. Step number 1. I'm passing one entry. This is my July month salary. Okay, that's the thing. My thing is salary expense account. So my that salary expense account, I'm just putting that, of course, debited. Let me mention that it's debited with my 10,000. I'm putting any random numbers over here. And that is with my salary payable. Okay. So this is the thing, just one entry I'm passing at the end of the month. Okay. So your salary expense account will be debited. This is my step number 1. Okay. Now step number 2, we are creating the bill for my rental and electricity. So again, just let me create the bill. I'm going to the accounting and the accounting. Just let me go to the bills. My bills, we are paying the bill to our torrent. Okay. The bill is that. My product is my rent, electricity. You can add those labels or product also. Okay, this account I have specified with the electricity. I have just configured those accounts. Electricity is that, and let's consider that amount is putting any random numbers with that. Okay, this is the just simple numbers. This bills for my month of July. Okay. And we are considering with the date of, okay. So this is the thing, we have just created one bill for my electricity. Now we are just going to confirm it. So this bill is created. One more bill we are created for my rent. So what happens? Just creating one more. My vendor is, let's consider any random. Okay. Now my product will be, you can add the labels. Rent. Okay, and for that we are selecting those rent, and let's consider we have those rent for that 400. Now thing is that we are going to add that bill date and just we are going to confirm. Okay, so currently I have considered the parameters of bills and rent. If this depends on the parameters that you have included, that you have counted when you are putting the numbers on work center cost. If you are considering the maintenance, so you can create the bill for the maintenance also. You can add more bills. But just I'm considering with rent and I'm considering with that my electricity. Those 2 bills I have created. And third point, just I have passed the entry for my salary that I'm paying to my employees. Now I'm going to balance those entry. As you can see that our expense account, that work center expense account was credited. So let me go to my general ledger again. Okay, here you can see that this work center cost account is credited with 175. Now our main thing is to make that account knock off with my those rent charges, those electricity charges, and those expense charges. Okay, so let's do those entry. But here my 175 is there. So as you know, what will be my employee cost? So again, let me go to the manufacturing again. In again reporting, production analysis, and just let me go to the pivot view. I'm just going to measure. Again, it will be 175, but let me double confirm. Okay, and along with that, I'm going to do with my manufacturing order. Okay, so here, yeah, it's my employee cost is the 100 and my operation cost is the 75. Those two entries are there. Now let's pass one entry. So I'm going into accounting. My journal entries, it's creating. We can put any balancing, double entry. Okay, whatever you add. Now, what was our account? Our account was work center cost. Okay, that was my, what was those amount? That is my 175. Okay, so here what we are going to do, it will be debited. Okay, but this amount will be debited against which accounts? Okay, so first we want to do against my salary expense. So what we are going to do, it's a salary expense, and what will be the amount of salary? That is my 100. So what we are going to do, just my 100 is there. Okay, so here that 100 that is included in my labor cost is now knock off with this my salary expense. Okay, so now again we have balance 75, but here we have mentioned that in the work center cost we are including our rent as well as our electricity. So I'm just dividing 75 into the two, which is rent or electricity. If you want to add more maintenance, if you want to add any more charges, then you can make those bills and you can add up in this particular balancing entry. So now one more is my rent. Okay, so here rent is that. I want to divide that rent with, let's consider just, these are just hypothetical number, 50. Let me make it that 25. Okay, and one more just I have added, which is my electricity. Okay, and the electricity itself I'm putting those 50. Okay, so here my 170 is that was debited against this all value. This 100, that is my actual employee cost that was in my manufacturing order. Okay, and just I'm putting this post. Boom, and now let's check my reporting, my general ledger. Okay, so let me go to the reporting, and if I will go to the general ledger, and here you can see that, just let me make it quite bigger now. Okay, here you can see that my work center cost was 175, that is knock off now. Along with that, more important thing that I want to mention, that our rent was with that. If we, let me just open the bill entry. Okay, so it will be more clear. If we can see that our bill was the amount of 500, and my along with that this rent is my fit 400. And if we will check that what will be my accounting entries for salary, if I will open that, okay, that will be my 4 salary. Just let me make it. That entry we have passed is, let me make it white. So journal entries, okay, and that is the torrent power, and that entry post-it. That entry, just give me a few minutes. Let me check that miscellaneous in the miscellaneous. Okay, otherwise, what happens? Now let's check my accounting with the general ledger. In the reporting, if I will go to the general ledger, here you can see that this account is knock off. This is my point number 1. Here you can see that rent account, and here my salary expense account. Okay, just let me look into that. I have passed those entry or not. Yeah, third is balance, but what happens? This is very important that we have to pass those entry. If we haven't passed, then it will be against those entry, it will be reserved. So let me check that I have passed or not. Just give me a few minutes. I'm checking on that. When you're Techvaria company, this is, it will be journal with my miscellaneous. Yeah, miscellaneous operation is there. Yeah, this is the journal, but I just forgot to post it. So just we have to post it. That is very important. So 10,000 is that. So now if we will check the journal ledger, so here you can see that we have that 10,000, and among those 10,000, we have that credited with the 100. So now the value is 9900. This entry just we are passing at the end of the month. So what happens at the end of month, after performing your all manufacturing orders, you have one number of your work center costs, and after getting that work center cost, at the end of month, those all entries will be passed, and those your work center account, cost account will be knocked off, and against those, my expense will be reduced or increased based on those entries. This is only workaround. We can give this workaround by landed cost also. That is also possible, but it's based on your requirement, based on your use case, based on your business case. Based on that, we can pass our entry. So here, this is the thing that we can provide you. We can suggest you. So just here, your bill of material is there. In the bill of material, you have to set your work center cost. Just you have to include your work center operations, employee costs. After that, getting those real costs, do the perform manufacturing orders, and just pass one entry. That will reduce your development, and it will easily set with your vanilla implementation. So this is from my side, that how you can configure everything. Now let's see that what questions you have, what queries you have. We will just work on your queries. Okay, so just let me look into those queries. I'm just going to step by step into the queries. Okay, so just give me a few minutes to check those all queries. What is, I have different cost associated products like consumable materials during the productions. Just let me read those questions. What I have different cost associated to production, like consumable materials during the production. Of course, we can do that. Can you please elaborate more on it? That now, just let me go to my accounting again. I'm going into my accounting. We are again just look into that. Yeah, if you want to do that, during the question is that if they want to add any water supply and like that. Okay, so what happens if you need to get that water supply? Then we have to make the consumptions over here. We can pass one entry also with these consumptions. So those particular consumptions will be booked, and that will be counted in our bill of material. Okay, so just let me go to again. So I will pass one entry. You have to pass the entries for those production account, that production account, which will be a virtual. Okay, so those entry will be passed, those account, those water materials, those will be consumed. Okay, so this is the thing. Second questions I received, that how does Odoo Manufacturing handle difference between planned and actual material usage? Yeah, just can you explain more? Otherwise, just share your use case with our email address, that I will study, I will analyze your whole use case and just provide the response on that. Because for that time availability, just we can quickly answer if the quick questions will be there. For details, just you can directly contact us, no worries. How you can observe the variance? Okay, that actual BOM cost. Here might be, I understand the question is that you want to find that variance, that let's consider by my BOM cost is the X cost and my manufacturing cost is the Y cost. Okay, that we can just let me check that how we can find with that reporting. Just Let me share my screen. Otherwise, we have to do the development. First, let me do those check. Let me check first. Let me go to the screen. Okay, let me go to the reporting if we can find, because here we need to find that BOM cost and my manufacturing cost. Might be it is not available, but again, let me try with that reporting and measures. Manufacturing. We want to find that work orders. I'm trying one or two use cases if it works, otherwise we'll analyze it more and then provide you the answers on that. Actual cost is the reporting. Total cost is that. This is the total cost. We will check on that. Might be variance is not giving by the Odoo standard. Still, I will find any workaround. Just drop an email on this mentioned email ID. I will analyze and I will find if any possible workaround with that Odoo standard. Okay. Sorry, this session is only for, the question is that this session will continue for Odoo modules. No, sorry, these sessions we have just booked for our manufacturing costing. Okay, for other sessions we will conduct more. Okay, so here just give me one workaround. I have just one idea that might be it is possible. So just let me go to that. I'm going to my cost. Okay, in that we have that reporting. In reporting, we are into the production analysis. Let me go to the pivot view and measure. Measure is there. Let me find my, expected component cost. That is, we have that expected employee cost, expected my cost, total cost, this total cost, think is that. Yeah. That's fine. See, this is also one workaround. It's not like that. It is not possible. Here you can see that in the measure itself, we have that expected component cost, expected employee cost, expected operation cost. Along with that, here we have that total employee cost, total operation cost also. Okay. So here you can directly compare that. Just let me group by my manufacturing order, so it will be more clear. Okay. So this is my thing. Here you can see that my component cost is 135. This is my expected, as we have mentioned that one is standard and one is consumed. So average is my this cost 135 is that. Okay. So now let me go to the next here. Just let me minimize. Let me go over that. Total cost, total employee cost, total operation. This is just workaround that we can suggest. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to find in the reporting that we have to do some kind of development or enhancement. Okay, but we can make it based on this reporting. On the top of, we can develop it. Okay, so now let me jump to again. Yeah, in the BOM overview, of course, we have, because in the BOM overview itself, we have that costing of our BOM itself. Okay, but if we want to find that variance, that what will be my BOM and what will be my manufacturing, because it is not necessary that whatever you have put on bill of material, like one component, two component, that all will be consumed. Might be it will be higher or it will be lesser. So based on that, your manufacturing cost is gonna calculate it. Okay, this is the thing. More queries, we are expecting more queries. Otherwise, if the any detailed use case is that if your business is running something different with your procedures, and that something is that just you can message us, you can mail us. We will analyze your whole use case and work on that. Okay, so thing is that now let me check if more queries are there. Let's wait for 2 minutes. Yes, of course, we publish our email. I will just let me share my screen again for that. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, this is just, I forgot to, this is the, yeah, here you can see that this is for you. Here you can find our global presence at Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and the Dubai. The email ID is info@techvaria.com. Here you can find the Ahmedabad mobile number also. You can note down, you can make a note, you can drop a message, you can call us also. Okay, we are always responding to our clients or to our attendance query. Okay, and we are expecting that I of course receive a call for that. Okay, so this is the thing. More queries or so most Odoo standard provides the all features, but sometimes we have to find that workaround. Okay, because sometimes it's not always visible. We have to use some tricks to make it visible. This is the way. Okay, so this is, as I mentioned, this is workaround. If you can try this workaround, it will work. If not, we can do some enhancement, but always development is not the initial step. Find the workaround, not, then we can do the enhancement on that. Okay, so still just I'm leaving this. Okay, if you have any queries, you can drop an email. Okay, thank you so much for, just hold on, one more query is going to, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I hope after this webinar you will receive one form that is also for your feedback and for your queries. See you soon with the next webinar with next topic. Okay, thank you everyone.